Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to install the Eonon GA9465B E90 unit onto my 2008 328i BMW. So obviously, like, the stereo on the Beamer is still great even for a 2008, but obviously having a touchscreen or having some kind of sound system that's more upgraded, has a nicer look in your car. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like right now so you guys can kind of get an idea of the before and after. But basically I got my Eonon unit today and we'll take a look at what's in the box. So you're obviously going to have your standard cables that come in this kind of aluminum package. And then here you're going to have the HVAC cover, and this one is for manual, so depending on what kind you have. In my unit, the manual is obviously not going to work because I have an automatic HVAC system, so we won't need this. But there's going to be another one inside the packaging for automatic systems. Sorry guys, so I needed 2 hands to take everything out. You're also going to have another package of wiring again, the HVAC mounting system or mounting bracket, and all the instructions, etc. I'm not going to be using the instructions because I've watched quite a few tutorials on how to do this, so it seems fairly straightforward. And then of course the actual system, which we're going to take out of the packaging. The good thing about the 9465B, it's an upgraded 2021 version of the older model. I'm not sure exactly what number that was, but this one has a 9-inch screen. So as you can see, huge screen. You can get the 7-inch screen as well, but I prefer this one. So let's go HVAC cover off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just take this and gently pull up the tabs. Okay, you're gonna do that all around. It's a little bit difficult. You don't want to break any clips or anything, so just kind of determine which side is better for you. I'm just gonna go all the way down and pry this off. So again, you want to pry it out. The pry tool. I recommend probably disconnecting the battery first. I didn't do that, but it probably is a better way of getting it off. And again, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm just gonna hold this side with my finger because I don't want it to go back in place. And you're just gonna slide down. Oh. And you're just gonna slide down. Oh. Slide down and pry off. Okay, and you should get a clean piece coming out like this. Just make sure that you're not breaking anything off. Right. Oh. I do have a piece at the bottom that's kind of stubborn. So even though it seems like it can, oh, there you go. All right. So now that you took this off, you're going to see 2 clips here. What you want to do is you want to slip the gray piece that's coming on, sorry, that's overlapping it. And you kind of just want to lift the piece. Oh, sorry. There's a black tab here. You're going to push that down so that the gray piece can slide over easily. Once it slides down, you just want to pull it up, and it should come out fairly easily. Same thing with this one. Push down, push the gray piece over, and pull up. Keeping in mind, this is a 2008, so it is fairly secure in there. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever taken this out. But basically, you're going to have a piece like this. And eventually, when we get to that step, this system is not made to have the seat controls. So once you install the unit, you're not going to have these seat heater controls. You're only going to have this one top piece HVAC system, and there's going to be a frame to cover that. So there's two solutions to this. The first is the Eonon system is actually made to control your seat heaters with the screen. I'm going to try that. If it does work, great. If it doesn't, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to purchase a basically replacement for your ashtray. And what that's going to do is you're going to have the ashtray, and the top piece is going to have a sort of panel that you can input your seat heaters into that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, depending on whether it works or not. We'll see. The piece for this replacement is $100 and about $100 to $150, depending on where you can find it. But I prefer to just try to see if the system will allow me to use it, and then we can go from there. Okay, so like I said, with my unit, I have the seat heaters at the bottom here. So there's going to be a wire running from here to this place here. And what you need to do is you need to grab both sides, pinch, there's two little tabs, and pull up. And this is going to disconnect the seat heaters from the system. Now, you need to remove this piece from the frame. And in order to do that, you just want to gently lift the tabs. There's going to be little tabs here. I know it's really hard to see, but you're basically just going to push down and slide to get that off. Okay, so the easiest way to get this off is, if you can see here, there are some tabs. I've already done this side, but basically what's going to happen is you're going to see a little hole here. You're going to stick a little screwdriver or something in this hole and lift up and push forward to get the frame off. There you go. Same thing on this side, okay? And the sides, perfect. And there's also going to be two at the bottom. So again, same thing. You're going to lift up there. And you're going to hear this clicking sound. So that means that it's allowing you to pull it out. Same thing on the last one. Okay, and once you have all of these, you can just push the system away from the frame. There we go. Obviously, be as gentle as you can with the system. We don't want to break any clips in case you do want to put back the originals. I will not be putting back the original. If I decide to sell my car, it'll be as is. There you go. So this is the old frame. We're not going to throw this out. We're going to keep it just in case we want to put the car back together at some point. And we'll probably need the seat heater switches if we decide to do the replacement kit of the ashtray. But basically, you're going to keep this system on the side. We don't need this right now, but we will need it to install, to finish our installation. So looking in the system here, you have 4 screws. So there's going to be one here, another one there, so 2 Phillips screws. And then at the bottom here, you're going to have 2 Torx screws. So these are probably going to be either T15 or T20. We're going to test it out and see which one. So go ahead and remove those. Okay, so I've now removed the 4 screws. So here, 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 and here. So now this should make it fairly simple to pull your system out. And you're just going to slip it up like this. Oh, it seems like it's stuck somehow. It should slide out fairly easily, but I can feel some wires stuck back here. So I'm just going to reach in and see what's going on. Oh, it's this. I'm going to push that in and allow for it to pull out easier. There you go. So you want to do 2 things. Push it more because clearly it's stuck again. There we go. All right. So once you have it out, there's 2 things you're going to remove. The first is this. The second is your antenna wire. Okay. So with the antenna wire, you just want to pull it out. there's a clip on the side and pull out. And then the other one, you're going to lift back. There, up and click back and pull. Okay, so now you have that disconnected, and we're just going to put this on the side again. So now if I give you guys a closer look, you're going to have this wire, this connector, which you're going to connect the new system to, and you have your two clips from the HVAC down here through this hole, which is very different, and then you have your antenna cable coming from the top. All right, guys, so once you have it out, you have your connector here, antenna cable, the wires for the HVAC system from this bottom. But what you want to do is you want to take this torque screw, and these two bolts you want to undo so you can take out the framing. Basically what I've done is I removed those two screws as well as these two 8mm bolts here. And so now the unit or mount or frame or whatever should come out fairly easily. Again, you can throw it out if you want. I'm going to keep it just in case I do want to put in the original when I sell the car at some point or whatever. So you're going to have this whole housing unit to stick your wires in here. So now we're going to move on to the rest of the installation. So basically, when installing, I think the owner's manual tells you to put that piece in and then put the mounting bracket after. I don't recommend this. Definitely stick the mounting bracket onto your unit before you push it in, and we're going to do that right now. So the user manual will tell you that these need to be screwed in. There's 2 screws on each one. Mine already came installed, but if yours doesn't, it's literally a matter of sticking these 2 screws and having the pins facing you. Now, you don't need to screw it onto the actual Eonon unit. The unit itself has these 2 little clips, and so it's fairly just a matter of putting these back. Sorry, you're gonna push these in, and you're gonna hold this clip back, and it's just gonna click into place. There you go. And then the next one, same thing. Just gonna click into place. Just want to be careful with the screen. There you go. And it's just gonna stay on like that. Okay. So this is what it's gonna look like. It is a little bit wobbly right now, just so it has the room to go back and forth if it needs to, but it's fairly simple. It's just clicking in place. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what's what. Basically, the connector that comes with it has a thin rectangular piece that goes right above the fuse here. So you're gonna click that into place. And then you're going to take the antenna wire, click it in, and there's going to be an exposed side here. This is where you're going to fit the original from the thing just by clicking it into place. I'm not going to do it yet just because I am still figuring out the wires, but okay, so I've pushed most of the wiring in. So this one's for the connector. This one, you want your AmpCon wires to be connected, as well as your ANT connectors. So I know that they're different colors, but they both say ANT, so you obviously know that they go hand in hand. We have our GPS, our Wi-Fi. Then we have, sorry, I'm just going to show you here. This is connected to the aux in, aux out, red to red, white to white. The yellow video we won't need until we put a camera or something in, or a DVD system. And then our antenna's right here. So before I go and I plug everything in, I just want to make sure what I have. The other thing you need to keep in mind is that you also are going to have a microphone. And that microphone we're going to have to pull through the dash. So some people will pull it through here up until the airbag system, and you're kind of just going to put the GPS or the microphone or whatever in this section. I've seen many videos where people just put the GPS and the Wi-Fi in the compartment, so that's what I'm going to do. If I have issues, then I'll do all the routing to the panels, but I'm not going to do that right now. The microphone though, I probably will have to route. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm pretty much just going to put it in the corner over there, pull it through the side panel, through the dashboard, and to this compartment. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay guys, so for the mic, I decided to remove the panel. So basically you're just gonna use your pry tool over here and you're just gonna pry it up, making sure you're not breaking the clips, obviously. I've taped, it comes with a 3M backing, so I've taped it here. I ran the wire along, down through the side, through the glove compartment. Now I'm gonna have to figure out basically how to, I've opened the fuse box as well just to see what the route is, and we're gonna try to get it to this console over here. So basically what I realized is my method of just trying to pull this microphone wire through is not gonna work without fishing it. So what I did is I got myself a piece of barbed wire, and basically I'm going to tape this end of the microphone to the barbed wire and fish it through. Alright guys, so as you can see, I fished it through the side panel and pushed it all the way along, and it came out right here. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull that out all the way through just to make sure that there's no wire. I'm going to pull it as much as it can go. Make sure that it's not wrapped around anything here. Pull it all the way through. Okay, and so that's tight and snug, right? And then you could put the panel back. So now that we have our microphone through, there's a separate unit that you're going to attach, piece that you're going to attach to it, and this is going to fit at the back of your Eonon unit. Now for the GPS, like I said, I'm not going to do the routing for the GPS or the Wi-Fi. I'm pretty much just going to stick them at the top of the panel. So for this one up here, there's like a little crevice here. And so I'm going to take this and stick it up there. I want to get the unit as close as possible to it to do that. So I'm just going to slip this at the top there. You can stick it on. I'm gonna stick it on. I wasn't gonna do it just in case I wanted to move it later, but we'll stick it on for now. So there's like a little panel up here. Okay, we're just gonna stick it onto that. Okay. And that's for the Wi-Fi. And the GPS also has the same thing, which you can also stick up here if there's some space in the corner, which I believe there is. I probably should have moved this over a little bit. There. Just gonna slide this over and stick it back again. And then the same for the GPS. You can just throw them back there, a lot of people do. I want to try to be as neat as possible if I can. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the back of this. So like I said, I stuck the GPS and the Wi-Fi up here. It's a little difficult to see, sorry. But basically there's a little groove here, up here. And I stuck both the GPS and the Wi-Fi there. So everything's pretty much plugged in, but before I put this into the back, we also need to fish the USB. So with the USB, it's not going to look the prettiest, but I don't even care. I'm just basically going to take this wire and I'm going to fish it through this corner, and what's going to happen is you're going to find it from here. So on this side panel, you're going to lift it up and kind of find the wire. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but basically here is your USB wire, and you're just going to pull it until you can. You can pull it a little bit more once the unit's actually in, but that's all I can do for now. So that's pretty much how it's going to be. It's not the prettiest. You can also like pull it through on the side of your panel here, but we can do all the little touch-ups later. So everything is connected here. what you want to do is you want to take this piece and connect it to the one from your previous radio. So I know it's a little hard to see. I'm sorry about the distance. I'm trying to move this a little closer if I can. There. So this piece needs to be connected into this piece. And you'll kind of see what's going on. There's an empty gap here. Okay, so you're just basically gonna click it into place. Make sure it snaps on tight, and then you're gonna pull this ring on top to lock it into place. There we go. So now we know that it's working perfectly. And we can kind of just tuck everything back there and begin. Perfect. Back like this so you guys can see it. Perfect. Alright, so you're just going to tuck everything back there, the decoder, everything except for the two HVAC wires. Keep these two out. Everything else needs to be tucked back. When you put the system in, it's kind of just going to fit in like a glove by itself. You don't really need to do anything crazy. There. As you can see, it's just kind of fitting in there like a glove. And you don't really need anything to hold it. Just kind of align it perfectly. And make sure that nothing's pushing it forward. All the wires are back there properly. Okay. And it's just kind of going to sit like that. Okay. So once it sits there, now you want to work on the HVAC unit. Okay. So for the HVAC unit, what you want to do is trim off the sides. So as you can see here, each piece has one of these metal things, and there's a piece of plastic up here that you totally want to trim off so that this is exposed. And I'm going to show you why right now. So like I said, you're going to have two pieces of the cover. One is for manual settings, and the other one is just for an automatic. So for the automatic, in order for this to kind of slip on, this piece here, as you can see, it's kind of sticking out, right? It's not totally aligned. So you need to shave this off in order for this to click in place and be able to fit it into the unit. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some wire cutters and try to clip off as much as I can. If I can. If not, you're probably going to have to get a saw or something and just kind of shape it down. I'm cutting it off. It's working, so I'm just going to do that. So here we have one piece here that I'm just going to snap off like so. So you can see here that one piece is gone. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Forgot we had the key in. Probably not a good idea to have that in there. Like I said, it's probably best to disconnect the car battery from the back. I didn't do that in this case, just because I want to risk dying. But I mean, if it's your first time, you're not really sure how to do this, sorry about that, guys. I would recommend disconnecting the battery just to avoid anything. I'm not really scared of that kind of stuff, so I mean, for me it was nothing. But I mean, like, I know where the wiring and stuff is, so I didn't see that being an issue. And you're gonna do the same. So here you go. So here's the version of it being cut off. As you can see, there's no more side, versus this one where you have that piece there. So we're going to do the same thing to the side. I find that using the wire cutters is better because you can get a cleaner cut than if you do it with a saw or whatever I've seen people doing. You can use that at the end just to make sure that it's graded down as much as possible. But for our purposes right now, the wire cutter is doing a good job of cutting the plastic, and so I don't think I need to do that. We'll see. Once we try to put it in, we'll see if it fits or not. Okay. So I'm going to trim off as much as I can here. I see a piece of plastic here. There we go. Okay, and same thing on this side. Okay, and so here you go. Both sides are completely done. So you just want these to be exposed. Again, you can file it down. I don't think I'll need to, but we'll see. So to put this through, what you're gonna need to do is see if it... All right, guys, so basically I've already screwed in these 2 screws for the bottom mount. This one does not come with screws for some weird reason. I'm not really sure why. It has the cap covers here, but no screws. I've tried multiple screw lengths. None of them are really, sorry, their lengths are working, but the heads are too small. I'm sorry, too big. So it doesn't go all the way to the back, which is where it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna leave these empty for now until I can find the appropriate screw length. But basically we screwed those in. They're not tight. I'm gonna tighten them a little bit, as much as I can right now, just so it stays in place. But also, like, if the top isn't screwed in, then it's gonna kind of shift a little bit, so we don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna tighten it enough that it kind of holds in place but doesn't bend, if that makes sense. Okay, and then we're going to connect our HVAC again. Boy, shit, sorry guys. Definitely not the best cameraman. I should get a GoPro to make this easier on everybody. So, yep, so you're gonna push this in all the way, and then you're gonna lift the plastic piece over it until it clicks into place. And the same thing for the other one. Gonna push in, lift the clip over it. Perfect. Okay, and now you want to... Okay, so I got the frame on it. It is going to stick out slightly more than your heat, but that's not really a worry for me. And you're pretty much done. We just need to put those 2 screws in. Right now I don't have any, so I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is until I can get the appropriate screws for it. So basically we're just gonna start the engine, or sorry, turn on the power and check it out. Let's see. Wow, so that worked out pretty well. Let's just check out the options, because you never know. What I'm most concerned about right now is the seat warmers. I'm not really sure where exactly the seat warmers would be or should be, but we're about to see. And you also want to check your HVAC, just make sure everything's working. Yeah, perfect. So that seems to be fine. So I'm not too familiar with the system yet. We're gonna have to figure this out as we go along. Home maybe, I don't know. Home, back, no recent items, okay. Oh, so there's two screens here, so we want to go to settings. Okay, so we can set up the Google preferences. I guess because there's no internet here right now, it's not going to do what we want it to do. Oh, you got to sign in yet, so that's not going to work for us right now because we're in the underground. But basically, we're going to log in after. Interesting. We want to go to the actual car settings. I'm not sure where we can find this. Please connect your phone. Okay, fuck. It's a little hard to see where we're supposed to go. Oh wait, car info, driving data. You can kind of see everything that's usually here, which is kind of cool. Other settings. Oh, there. So seat warmer. I can only tell if it's working once I actually sit here for like a little while and see if the settings did work. What I'm gonna do is drive out of the parking lot so I can see if our Wi-Fi settings work, but oh, it's actually turning on. Wow, that's great. And you could turn it down. I'm actually really into this, and that's basically the setup for the GA9465B for the E90. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry for all the craziness, all the pauses and everything, but at least we did it. Thanks for watching.